Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and then I'd be able to send videos like this to your inbox as soon as tomorrow morning. If you like this watch, you can buy it on thewatchbox.com. Buy, trade, and sell luxury watches globally and 24 hours a day on thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing one of my favorite modern Rolex models. It is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date II. This is the 218206 in full platinum. A model made from 2008 when it bowed at Basel to 2014 when it gave way to the Rolex Day-Date 40. This remains the biggest timepiece to be nicknamed President ever to have worn the Rolex crown. 41 millimeters across the round of its titanic platinum case, and by the way, case and bracelet, this one weighs in at just under 270 grams, but that's 41 millimeters across the round of the case from 9 to 3. Not terribly thick, 12.1 millimeters with that conical bezel. This is still a dress watch with a little bit of a sporting bent, so you'll fit it underneath any tight sleeve. Lug to lug, this one spreads its wings. First, when you actually measure the case across the wrist, which is going to be 49.5 millimeters, it's the end links, the solid end links of this Platinum President bracelet that really extend the watch. And you can see as I move it away from the camera in profile, 53.2 millimeters end to end is no joke across the wrist. You're going to find that you've probably got a lower limit of 14 to 14 and a half centimeters circumference wrist size to wear this watch comfortably. It is wonderfully substantial. I love the feeling of platinum. It's heavy, it's premium, it's redolent of luxury, but it's also stealthy in a sense that those who perhaps can't warm up to colored gold will no doubt appreciate. There's definitely a stealth wealth quality about platinum. Now, the President bracelet is as comfortable as ever. I've always found it to be more robust on the wrist and in the hand than the 5-link Jubilee dress bracelet, but also more silken and supple on the wrist than the Oyster with its 3 massive links. That's the advantage of the 3 relatively narrow links. You'll note polished on their flanks, satin finished on the outer links, and then polished down the center. The 218206 represented the first appearance of Rolex's ceramic-coated link pins. So internally, the pins used to join the platinum links are ceramic-coated. The ceramic cannot be worn down by the platinum, so this will not suffer stretch over time. Whatever play is in it from the factory is the only play it will ever have until time to come and the end of time. The timepiece, of course, featuring a full platinum clasp, uses the crown clasp, and the crown clasp is the sole point of demarcation that splits each side of the bracelet. Now you may wonder, how do you size it? Well, it has screw-fixed individual removable links, but the crown clasp is more sophisticated than it used to be. It is now a release trigger rather than simply a flat shim to be used to pry the clasp open, and you'll note fully finished on its interior, it has a blasted base with polished flanks and a polished swing arm. Absolutely gorgeous, and nicely curved on the underside to trace the arc of the wrist. So this one's a bruiser, but make no mistake, this is one of the rarest, most exquisite, and in my opinion, most lovable modern Rolex watches, because it's got a little bit of a goonishly proportioned quality to it that makes it perhaps the thinking man's alternative to an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak offshore. It's in that size class when you count the end links. There's something a little bit goofy about it, almost like a kid wearing his father's clothes. It's the kind of thing where you either love the proportions of this watch or you just think that they're a little bit too far off and Rolex went in the right direction with the Day-Date 40. This watch to me feels just about perfect. It's grand. So perhaps the proportions may be awkward to some, but for me, it's an excess of luxury, just enough. The dial, blue with 2 different finishes. You'll note there's a Gadron style that forms the basis for the stylized and blued Roman numerals. And then there's a sunburst at center with faceted blued hands. Beautiful and beautifully composed. I like the raised center dial with the sunburst contrasting with the metallic gadrons. You'll also note that there's a small railroad track outboard with a stylized Roman numeral outboard of each individual Roman numeral. Did I mention this watch is excessive? Of course, a day and a date, and it is a double quickset. The watch with a screw down, twin lock crown with the single distinctive Rolex Platinum dot. That's how you know you're looking at a Rolex Platinum crown in the current generation. Screwed in case back, 100 meters water resistant. So it is robustly water resistant, as good as a Royal Oak offshore chronograph. So not only is it in that size class and that proportioning, but it's also in that water resistance class, and probably tougher internally, as it features the caliber 3136 that was only ever used on the Day-Date II. 31 joules automatic winding, 48-hour power reserve with smooth bidirectional winding action. It uses a jeweled staff rather than bearings, so that it is almost completely silent. Features hacking seconds and a double quick set for the date. So for example, if it's not Friday the 11th when you receive this watch, you can quickly set both without having to spin the hands. When you pull the crown to extremity, you stop the seconds and you can synchronize precisely to a reference time, 28,800 vibrations per hour, and it is braced with a full balance bridge, a free sprung balance, so that's shock resistance. It has a Breguet overcoil hairspring for resistance to gravitationally induced timing deviation, and it has a parachrom blue alloy, which is a oxidized niobium zirconium that makes the watch highly anti-magnetic. Ultimately, also a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. Rolex received the chronometer certificate for the bare movement and then cased up the watch and again verified that it met chronometer timing standards before it ever left Geneva. The dial, the signature ice blue that Rolex reserves for its platinum pieces, is the one to get. If you are getting a platinum Rolex, ice blue is the dial you want. And I find that this dial has the most character among all those offered on the Day-Dates, with two different metallic finishes. And among the Day-Date IIs, you have the two different finishes and the two different colors of blue, beautifully blazoned on this dial. I still prefer the Day-Date II in platinum over the Day-Date 40. This is the one I would pick for my own wrist. Are the proportions a little bit strange? Yes, but you know something? The proportions are just right to those who are feeling this watch, and I'm feeling it. All 270 grams of it. See it and make it yours on our website.